Listen, my first fight I ever had was over a fucking pigeon. And then my first fight, I loved fighting. I fought every day after that. I realized that I could do something with my hands. I could fight. I just fought every day. Every day. And now I became Mike Tyson from this these fucking pigeons. I don't care about championships. I've already done that. It's something else now. It's more than skill. It's unbreakable mindset. Sometimes you gotta remind them. I'm built for this.
Mike Tyson and Floyd Mayweather are about to clash in what could be the biggest boxing spectacle of the decade, and the numbers behind this fight are absolutely staggering. We're talking $50 million each, a spring 2026 date that's already breaking the internet, and two legends who have nothing left to prove but everything to gain. But here's what nobody's telling you about this exhibition. It's not really about boxing anymore. This is about legacy, money, and proving that even in their twilight years, these two icons can still generate more buzz than any active fighter on the planet.
Ready, brother? Yep.
It's good to see you there, man. I killed Fabrice yesterday.
Yeah?
I killed Fabricio.
Yeah, what's he talking? That's my brother. How's he doing?
He's doing well. He's in the mountain. Yeah.
With eyes closed, I can taste everywhere.
What about you? Everything's good?
Yeah, it's sore. My body's sore, man.
The preparation for this fight is unlike anything we've seen before, and Mike Tyson's training footage is sending shockwaves through the boxing community. At nearly 60 years old, Iron Mike is pushing through grueling workouts that would break fighters half his age. We're seeing him build strength, endurance, and that signature explosive power that made him the most feared heavyweight in history. But here's the kicker: this isn't just about getting in shape. Sources close to his camp say Floyd is training like this is a real fight, not some friendly exhibition. He's sharpening his technique, working on precision, and proving that the fire that made him a legend is still burning. His trainer recently said he's proud of how focused Mike has become, and when you watch the footage, you can see why legends endure. Every move demonstrates the mastery and technique that define greatness.
Oh, Lord. Good reset, man.
Yeah.
Good reset, Mike. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah. What?
oh, that's so good.
Let's look. We fight. We stay here. Build a good boss. I get out. I like that. I always want to try catching down here.
Meanwhile, Floyd Mayweather is doing what Floyd does best, exuding confidence while methodically preparing to dominate. Money Mayweather has never lost that unstoppable persona, and his training sessions prove why he believes nobody can beat him. He's hitting pads with precision and power that would make active fighters jealous, pushing limits in every session, and showing the world that retirement hasn't dulled his skills one bit. But here's where it gets interesting. Floyd isn't just training his body, he's playing the mental game too. He knows that his name alone generates billions, which is exactly why opponents keep pursuing fights with him even though he's officially retired from competitive boxing.
yeah, so far. Exactly.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, that's a good word. I love it.
20 seconds.
And then they end. They're just like that.
You did more workouts than what I seen you than the whole time you fought Lennox Lewis. Am I right or wrong?
Jeff Mayweather, Floyd's uncle and former trainer, recently made a compelling argument about why this fight makes perfect sense from a business perspective. He pointed out that if other fighters can return profitably after retirement, Floyd should absolutely capitalize too, especially since he remains fit, disciplined, and free from the drugs or unhealthy habits that derail other athletes. This isn't just family loyalty talking, it's cold, hard business logic. Floyd has maintained his conditioning better than fighters 20 years younger, and his discipline is legendary throughout the sport. When you combine that with his unmatched ability to promote fights and generate revenue, you start to understand why this exhibition is inevitable. Andre Ward, the former pound-for-pound king, dropped some serious knowledge about why these exhibitions are becoming the new normal for boxing legends. Ward explained that this isn't just about Floyd and Mike, it's part of a historical pattern. Legends like Sugar Ray Robinson, Muhammad Ali, and Joe Louis all engaged in exhibition tour during their careers. According to Ward, these events allow fighters to stay connected to the sport, showcase their skills, and earn substantial money without the intense preparation and health risks of high-stakes championship fights. Floyd himself stated with typical confidence, "I still have what it takes to set more records in the sport of boxing." And honestly, the numbers back him up. No other fighter can generate bigger gates, reach a larger global broadcast audience, or make more money per event. But let's talk about the elephant in the room, Mike Tyson's health concerns, and what they mean for this fight. Wade Plemons gave a brutally honest assessment that has people worried about Iron Mike's ability to compete safely. Plemons pointed out that Tyson faced real challenges just preparing for his Jake Paul exhibition, including hospitalization and training setbacks that raised serious red flags. We're talking about substantial health risks here, past stomach issues, injuries that had him limping to the ring, and the reality that Mike is pushing 60 years old. Plemons emphasized that while Floyd's might be smaller and slightly slower than his prime, he's going to dominate this fight because Paul's body simply can't keep up with his legendary fighting spirit anymore.
In a boxing gym, it don't count. You can have good days, you can have bad days. You know, a lot of times guys do good in the gym. You know, they be happy. They feel like if you're doing good with Floyd Mayweather in the gym, oh, I want a world title, Well, you gotta really look at this now. Slow down, you go home to an apartment.
Here's where the business side gets absolutely wild. This exhibition won't affect Floyd's perfect 50-0 record, which means he can take this fight without any risk to his legacy. Mayweather stated with his trademark confidence, "You already know that if I'm going to do something, it's going to be big and legendary." And the man has a point. He's previously profited massively from exhibitions that few people attended, yet he still managed to turn them into financial successes that left everyone scratching their heads. Remember the Logan Paul fight? Most people thought it was ridiculous, but Floyd walked away with millions while barely breaking a sweat. That experience against a much larger opponent has perfectly prepared him for facing Tyson, and he knows exactly how to turn spectacle into profit.
Now, Floyd, you know, when you say your name, when they say these fighters' names, they say thousands and millions. When you say Money Mayweather, you say billions.
The tension between these two legends has been building for years, with verbal jabs exchanged through media interviews and social platforms. But here's what makes this different from typical boxing beef. Both fighters genuinely respect each other's accomplishments while simultaneously believing they would dominate in a head-to-head matchup. Clemens referenced this history of tension, noting that while the animosity adds to the spectacle, the fight is more about media attention than serious sporting competition. However, don't let that fool you into thinking either fighter is taking this lightly. Both men have egos the size of skyscrapers, and neither wants to look bad in front of a global audience.
I think that if anybody was to come back, he could come back and be successful.
100%.
I mean, I don't think that, he doesn't smoke, he doesn't drink, and his work ethic, that still hasn't left. So, even though he's older, I think that he still can compete with these guys out here today.
Yeah. Obviously, it sounds like, first things first, it sounds like he's going to be fighting Mike Tyson in the Congo, I heard.
The financial details of this spring 2026 showdown are absolutely staggering and reveal why both fighters jumped at this opportunity. We're talking about potentially $50 million each, which appears to have been the major factor in securing their participation. Think about that for a second. $50 million for an exhibition fight. That's more than most championship bouts pay, and it's guaranteed money with minimal risk to their health or legacies. The financial incentive, combined with the historical significance of seeing two legends face off, makes this matchup irresistible for both participants. Las Vegas is being considered as the likely location, given its status as the fight capital of the world and its ability to handle events of this magnitude.
Is not just coming back for an exhibition. We've seen Floyd going on the exhibition tours, which a lot of former all-time great fighters have done. The Ray Robinsons did it, the Alis did it, Joe Louis did it. It's not out of the question for a fighter to do that. Sometimes you don't want to have to prepare for a mega type of fight with a real threat, but you're making good money. You get to stay close to the game. You're in good enough shape, and you still get to showcase your skills around the world, and that's what Floyd Mayweather has done. Floyd Mayweather said, "I still have what it takes to set more records in the sport of boxing," speaking about his upcoming fight with Mike Tyson.
The timing of this fight couldn't be more perfect for the evolving landscape of combat sports entertainment. We're seeing UFC move away from traditional pay-per-view deals in favor of streaming platforms, and boxing exhibitions are adapting to new revenue models that maximize global reach. Despite these changes, the scale of this event and the size of the fighters' paychecks suggest that pay-per-view will likely remain the primary distribution method to generate the necessary revenue. The 2026 date comes at a time when combat sports are experiencing renewed excitement, with high-profile matchups in both boxing and MMA capturing global attention like we haven't seen in years.
Create a bigger gate, have a bigger global broadcast audience, and generate more money with each event. Floyd says, "I plan on continuing doing these events, and I plan to keep doing it with my global media partner, CSI Sports Fight Sports." This is Floyd Mayweather making the comment about the Tyson exhibition, and then also his desire to continue fighting as a professional fighter, not just a fighter that's fighting.
But here's the reality check that nobody wants to acknowledge. Both fighters have already secured their places in boxing history, with nothing left to prove inside the ring. Their legacies are untouchable, their achievements unquestioned, and their Hall of Fame inductions long secured. This contest feels less about competition or glory and far more about capitalizing on global attention, commercial value, and an enormous financial opportunity. Netflix and other streaming platforms are reportedly interested in broadcasting rights, which could push the revenue numbers even higher than traditional pay-per-view models.
Even though he's slowed down, even though he's much smaller, is going to run circles around Mike Tyson in this. Mike's going to have real trouble even getting to the fight. If we saw the Jake Paul exhibition, Mike was hospitalized for a bit. Then he had to take a lot of time off from training, had a stomach ulcer, and then again, the limping to the ring. Oh, man. The whole detrimental to his health. It's detrimental to Mike's health to even try to do this. The article keeps going, this fight will be an exhibition, so Mayweather isn't risking his perfect 50-0 record, though he doesn't sound concerned about Tyson in any way. I've been doing this for 30 years, and there hasn't been a single fighter that can tarnish my legacy, Mayweather said. You already know that if I'm going to do something, it's going to be big and it's going to be legendary. Except the last 5 exhibition fights that no one watched and that Floyd still found a way to extort them out of money. I still don't know how he made mills doing those fights.
While the concept of exhibitions in boxing has evolved dramatically, and Sean Porter recently reflected on how the terminology itself creates confusion, especially in America. He recalled that the idea was first popularized during Floyd's fight in Japan, which was labeled an exhibition but marketed as a grand event and once-in-a-lifetime spectacle. Many Americans initially interpreted exhibitions as casual sparring sessions, but promoters quickly clarified that these are major entertainment events designed to showcase legendary skills without affecting official records. Porter emphasized that because exhibitions aren't typically sanctioned by athletic commissions, Floyd's perfect 50-0 record remains completely unaffected regardless of the outcome.
I'm the best in the business of boxing. This exhibition will give the fans what they want. No, it won't. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna watch this. I don't know about you guys, but the circus show is something that I'm gonna cover here. You may not like it, and trust me, I don't either. But as a spectacle, and it'll be current news if it does actually happen, yeah, I'm gonna watch it, and I'm probably gonna clown the shit out of it because at this point, there's nothing else you can really do. You can't take it seriously, especially again after the Jake and Mike fight. I definitely can. I will say, I mean, Floyd does have experience now doing these exhibitions against bigger guys. He got used to it in the Logan exhibition, so at least there's that. And there is a good bit of bad blood back and forth between Floyd and Mike over the years. There's been some pretty choice words, more from Mike's side than any other side, but he has absolutely on multiple occasions told Floyd off, and well, here's one of them.
He said that he's better than Muhammad Ali. Yep, I'm better than Muhammad.
Porter also highlighted the draw and financial appeal of such matches, acknowledging that these events attract global attention and provide platforms for legends to showcase their skills without risking their professional records. However, he questioned the sporting purpose if no official stakes are involved beyond entertainment value. Looking ahead to potential future matchups, Porter discussed the massive hype surrounding a possible Floyd Mayweather versus Manny Pacquiao rematch. He anticipates that such an event, potentially staged at the Sphere in Las Vegas, would be absolutely massive and incredibly costly to produce, but cautioned that supporting fights might not match the star power of the main attraction.
It's probably ultimately what got Floyd and got Mike to sign next to that X. We're talking about a paycheck that could be upwards of $50 million a piece for these fights.
$50 million a piece here to get in the ring.
That's what I've been told, Mike.
Well, no wonder they're doing this.
Yeah, they're look no further. If you're looking for motivation, look, would they like to punch each other? Probably, but that money doesn't hurt.
No, not at all. And what about location? Do you think it's going to be in Las Vegas?
Yeah, I think that's probably the leader in the clubhouse. Obviously, it's in the States, at least, that's the fight capital for us. So I would not be surprised, although they're, for an event like this, that's going to be popular. And I think, for as many people that are excited about it, you probably got enough people, Mike, that also hate it. But I think the bottom line is that people are going to tune in. And with that kind of interest, who knows? We've seen...
So here's the bottom line. We're witnessing the evolution of boxing from pure sport to entertainment spectacle. And this Tyson-Mayweather exhibition is the perfect example of how legends can continue generating massive revenue long after their competitive careers end. The $50 million paychecks prove that fans are hungry for nostalgia and willing to pay premium prices to see their heroes one more time. Whether this fight delivers competitive action or simply serves as an expensive trip down memory lane, it's already succeeded in capturing global attention and proving that some names in boxing are truly timeless. What do you think? Is this exhibition worth the massive price tag? Or are we just watching two legends cash in on their legacies? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, smash that like button if this breakdown helped you understand what's really at stake, and subscribe for more inside analysis of boxing's biggest stories. Hit the notification bell because this fight is just the beginning of what could be a whole new era of legend exhibitions. I'll see you in the next one.
Wanted to be involved in fights like this in the past, so I think there are probably other locations, but yeah, ultimately I would probably think that Vegas is the leader in the clubhouse here, although I don't know for sure.
And it's coming at an interesting time, too, because for the sports world of boxing and really fighting for UFC, we were seeing UFC now go away from pay-per-views. How is this going to be really brought together? Do you think they'll go to the pay-per-view route?
Yeah, that's a really, it's interesting what's happening, and I think it's a great question. We don't have a definitive answer yet, but that's a fact, Mike, right? That the UFC has historically done these pay-per-view events That is ending in January. They've got this massive deal with CBS, Paramount, and they're not doing the pay-per-views anymore. We saw speaking of Mike Tyson, when Tyson and Jake Paul fought in November, that was...
Now let's dive into something the mainstream media isn't talking about. The ripple effect this fight is creating throughout the entire boxing ecosystem. You see, when two legends like Tyson and Mayweather announce a $50 million exhibition, it doesn't just impact them. It's sending shockwaves through every level of professional boxing, from up-and-coming prospects to established champions who are watching their potential paydays get dwarfed by retired fighters. Current heavyweight champion Tyson Fury recently made headlines when he admitted that active champions are struggling to generate the same level of excitement and financial backing that these exhibition matches are commanding. We're talking about a complete shift in how boxing economics work.
Tyson is an icon. All right, Floyd Mayweather, that's debatable, but Floyd Mayweather, Manny Pacquiao, that's debate. I mean, by now they're probably icons. Mike Tyson, icon versus icon, in an exhibition, F it, you might as well. I want to say this though. If you guys thought Mike Tyson was pulling punches against Jake Paul and that wasn't real, well, he ain't gonna pull no punches against Floyd. Like, that dude has shown that he ate it. Remember his feint punch at Floyd?
Legend joining us tonight.
Floyd ain't moved, though.
Legend joining us tonight.
The psychological impact on current fighters is fascinating and frankly a little disturbing. Imagine grinding through the amateur ranks, turning professional, fighting your way up the rankings, and finally earning a title shot, only to discover that your championship bout will generate a fraction of the revenue that two retired legends can command in a single exhibition. This is creating what some analysts are calling an exhibition arms race, where promoters are desperately trying to book legendary matchups because they know active fighters simply can't compete with the nostalgia factor. Ryan Garcia recently posted on social media about how exhibitions are making real boxing look like child's play. And honestly, the numbers support his frustration.
Great job. Great job. It's a big deal. It's a very big deal. Look, exhibition, that term has never worked. In fact, that term creates problems in America. That term was first introduced to us in America through Floyd going to Japan, doing a fight in Ryzen, and it was an exhibition. When we all hear about that, we go, well, this is play. This is a spar session. And the Japanese promoter had to come out and go, hey, wait a minute, I think we're a little bit lost in translation here. In Japan, by exhibition, what I'm talking about is, this is a extravaganza. This is a once in a lifetime. This is big event. But apparently that doesn't mean that to you guys. It's like, okay, I can meet you halfway. The problem is, with an exhibition, Floyd's perfect record of 50-0 is not on the line. And whether you want to call that an extravaganza or something.
But here's where this gets really interesting from a business perspective. The international market response to this announcement has been absolutely unprecedented. Japan, where Floyd has staged several exhibitions, is reportedly offering astronomical sums to host this event. The Middle East, specifically Saudi Arabia, has emerged as a major player in combat sports entertainment and is rumored to be preparing a bid that would make the $50 million fighter purses look like pocket change. We're hearing whispers about total event budgets exceeding $300 million when you factor in venue costs, production value, undercard fights, and the massive promotional campaigns needed to justify these astronomical numbers.
Not on the line, what are we doing it for? It's very tough, right? So Floyd has been going around, he's been doing these exhibition matches, and whoever put this together demanded the record is on the line. I remember the night that fight happened, and I remember Mike Tyson specifically came out to the media and he asked a question. His whole statement, his whole interview was actually a question. He said, we waited our whole lives to see that. And Mike really summed it up for all of us. It was a letdown. And if those two are going to go at him, you're talking about Sphere and you're talking about boxing. And that means a couple of things. One, it's going to be a really big and really expensive event. And two, don't think you're going to get a supporting cast as this story unfolds. Like, don't think some killer co-main event's going to come on. And I kind of got my interest, and my wife and I might go, but I want to see who's opening the card. That's not like that for boxing.
The streaming wars are also playing a huge role in driving up the financial stakes for this exhibition. Netflix has been aggressively pursuing live sports content, and sources close to the negotiations suggest they're willing to pay unprecedented amounts for exclusive streaming rights. Amazon Prime Video isn't backing down either. They've been building their combat sports portfolio and see this as a potential game changer for their platform. But here's the kicker: traditional broadcasters like ESPN and Fox Sports are panicking because they're being outbid by streaming giants who have virtually unlimited budgets and are desperate for content that drives subscriber growth. This bidding war could push the total revenue for this single exhibition past the $500 million mark. The training footage we're seeing from both camps is revealing some fascinating insights about how these legends are approaching this exhibition differently than typical fights. Mike Tyson's camp has been surprisingly transparent about their strategy. They're not trying to recreate prime Iron Mike, but rather showcasing a more calculated, technical version of his legendary style. His current trainer revealed that they're focusing on explosive combinations followed by defensive positioning, essentially maximizing impact while minimizing the cardio demands that could expose his age. The footage shows Tyson working extensively on upper body movement and counter-punching, suggesting they're preparing for Floyd's elusive style rather than trying to overwhelm him with raw aggression. Floyd's preparation is equally strategic, but completely different in approach. Recent training videos show him working with multiple sparring partners who are specifically mimicking Tyson's pressure fighting style. But here's what's really interesting. Floyd isn't just preparing for current Mike Tyson. He's preparing for the possibility that Iron Mike might tap into that legendary explosiveness for brief moments during the fight. His conditioning work has been focused on maintaining peak performance throughout the entire exhibition, knowing that if he can weather any early storms, his superior technique and ring IQ will take over. Sources from his camp say Floyd has been studying footage from Tyson's recent exhibitions obsessively, looking for patterns and weaknesses that he can exploit. The undercard for this exhibition is shaping up to be absolutely stacked, and promoters are using it as an opportunity to showcase both rising stars and other legendary fighters who want a piece of this financial bonanza. We're hearing rumors about potential appearances from legends like Sugar Ray Leonard, Oscar de la Hoya, and even discussions about bringing Roy Jones Jr. back for another exhibition. The strategy is brilliant: create an entire evening of nostalgia and star power that justifies the premium pricing while giving fans multiple reasons to tune in. Some insiders are suggesting the complete event could run close to 5 hours, essentially creating a boxing festival rather than a single fight card. Here's something that's flying completely under the radar: the impact this exhibition is having on boxing training facilities and gyms worldwide. Suddenly, older fighters who thought their careers were over are flooding gyms, hoping to get in shape for potential exhibition opportunities. Gym owners are reporting unprecedented interest from former professionals who see this Tyson Mayweather payday and realize there might be money left in their names. This is creating what some are calling an exhibition bubble, where former fighters are investing heavily in comeback training without any guarantee of actually getting booked for events. The trickle-down economic effect is real, but it's also creating false hope for fighters who might not have the name recognition to command significant exhibition paydays. The legal and regulatory aspects of this exhibition are incredibly complex and reveal just how much the combat sports landscape has evolved. Because this is classified as an exhibition rather than a professional bout, it falls into a regulatory gray area that varies significantly from state to state. Nevada, the likely host location, has specific exhibition rules that limit the intensity of exchanges and require modified gloves designed to reduce impact. But here's where it gets tricky. Both fighters have massive egos and competitive spirits that might not respect exhibition limitations once they're actually in the ring trading punches. The Athletic Commission will likely assign referees with specific instructions to intervene quickly if the action becomes too intense, but managing two legends with combined decades of championship experience is no simple task. The media coverage surrounding this announcement has been unprecedented, but it's also revealing some interesting splits within the boxing journalism community. Traditional boxing writers are expressing concerns about the sport's direction, arguing that exhibitions are overshadowing legitimate championship fights and diluting the competitive integrity that makes boxing special. Meanwhile, sports business analysts are praising the innovative approach to monetizing legendary careers and expanding the sport's appeal to casual fans who might not follow active fighters. This divide reflects a broader conversation about whether boxing is primarily a sport or entertainment, and this exhibition is forcing everyone to pick a side. Social media engagement around this fight announcement broke several records and provides fascinating insights into what modern fight fans actually want to see. The initial announcement posts across Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok generated more engagement in the first 24 hours than most championship fight announcements received during entire promotional campaigns. But the comments reveal something interesting. Younger fans are primarily excited about seeing Mike Tyson, while older fans are more focused on Floyd's technical mastery. This generational divide in fan interest is influencing how promoters are approaching the marketing campaign, with different messaging strategies for different demographic groups. The international broadcast rights negotiations are revealing just how global the appeal of these legendary fighters remains. European broadcasters are reportedly offering unprecedented sums for regional rights, while Asian markets are showing particular interest given Floyd's previous exhibition success in Japan. But here's what's really wild: streaming platforms in markets where boxing traditionally has minimal following are bidding aggressively, because they see this as an opportunity to introduce combat sports to new audiences. We're talking about potential broadcasts in over 150 countries simultaneously, which would make this one of the most widely distributed combat sports events in history. Behind the scenes, both fighters are dealing with unique pressures that go beyond typical fight preparation. Mike Tyson is managing expectations while proving he can still perform at a level worthy of his legendary status. Recent interviews show him acknowledging his physical limitations while maintaining that his fighting spirit remains undiminished. He's been working with sports psychologists to manage the mental aspects of competing at nearly 60 years old against an opponent who many consider the most technically skilled boxer of all time. The pressure to represent his era of heavyweight boxing and not embarrass his legacy is enormous, but Tyson seems to be embracing the challenge rather than being overwhelmed by it. Floyd, meanwhile, is navigating the unique challenge of maintaining his perfectionist reputation in an exhibition format where traditional winning and losing don't apply. His entire career has been built on meticulous preparation and flawless execution, but exhibitions require a different approach that balances entertainment value with competitive performance. Recent interviews suggest he's viewing this as an opportunity to showcase his skills against a legendary opponent while controlling the narrative around his continued dominance. The fact that his record remains unaffected gives him freedom to take risks and engage in exchanges that he might have avoided during his professional career. The ripple effects throughout the combat sports world are becoming more apparent as other fighters and promoters scramble to capitalize on the exhibition trend. UFC legends are reportedly exploring similar opportunities, with names like Chuck Liddell, Tito Ortiz, and even discussions about potential boxing exhibitions featuring former MMA champions. The success of this Tyson-Mayweather event could legitimize exhibitions as a permanent fixture in combat sports, creating an entirely new revenue stream for retired fighters and promoters. We might be witnessing the birth of a new entertainment category that bridges the gap between active competition and complete retirement.